need that that squeaky noise filter.
Bit of WD shorty.
Mike.
Tap.
Stop.
Check, Mike, check. Testing.
Episode 2. Yeah, video. So, welcome to episode 2 with Glenn. We have a guest today. We've just smashed a 23.2 redo because young Tommy needed someone to chase.
Yep.
/ beat the crap out of, which he did, which was fantastic. So we may be sweatier than it appears in a sauna, but today we're going to talk about, look how organised we are. We even got a checklist. We're getting out there.
Only because we don't want to go down too many dark, deep rabbit holes about things that might be valuable to us to talk about, but it might go over your head. So we're going to keep it pretty simple today.
Keep it succinct, yeah. And on that deep dark rabbit hole thing, we got lots of positive feedback from last week.
Yeah, we did.
Lots of positive feedback, and that was very, very kind of everyone to say, tell us what they thought and tell us honestly. And I'm sure Glenn listened. Glenn, what did you think?
I did. Oh, it was great.
You did?
I did listen.
Oh, we did.
We listened to it in the gym together.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, straight after.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. All right, so we finished on last week what you want versus what you need, and this week we're going to cover that. And so we're basically talking programming, what we're going to do for programming, what we've been doing, why we do it, all that type of stuff. So I think from Zach and I's perspective, it's very much we like to make you be good at life. We're not trying to. That's always our top priority. But dealing with people, we also want to make you enjoy the program and have buy-in and understand what and why we do things. So if it comes up with a workout and you're thinking, I don't really know why, I don't really like that workout or whatever, there's a reason behind pretty much all of the workouts we do. There's a reason behind it, and there's a lot of thought behind it, a lot of time behind the program. And so in light of recently listening to, if you haven't listened to the Andy Galpin, Andrew Huberman, and you have got a spare 15 hours, it's basically an entire physical education course. But there was a section there on programming that I thought struck a really good chord with myself. And I've been sharing it with everyone. I shared it with Zach while we were on holiday. And it was basically going around, they did two things. They did great tests for fitness. So you can test all the aspects of fitness. He had some slightly different, he lumped skill into one category, which there's some skills that are high skill, low skill, but skill in one category, but roughly the same as what I would lump fitness into. And he gave a bunch of tests in the last week, we've done those tests in combination with our benchmark tests. And yeah, let's reflect on that real quick. How do you think let's start with Monday. Monday's test with the alpha WOD.
Yep, so the pegboards.
The pegboards and heavy front squats.
Yeah, I think...
You coached that day, so...
Yeah, I coached that day. I think, like on our little list here, we've got power, force, speed, longevity. And that's a really, really good test and skill of probably starting with, in my opinion, and then Duds might have something slightly different, is skill and how long can you actually hold skill for. And what I mean by that is, climbing a pegboard and putting tiny little pegs, into a hole and then basically climbing up and then climbing back down, to me is the number one thing is skill there. Strength is definitely going to come into play.
Yeah, I think strength comes in to a point.
Yeah.
Like, you need the right amount of strength to do the skill.
Yeah.
But then once you have that strength, it's the skill that develops more than the strength.
But I think most people that are... I'm going to use most pretty loosely. Most people in here that are currently training probably have the strength to be able to do a pegboard climb.
Yep.
I would say.
Or even a half one. Like they have the skill. Maybe not all that, maybe not stamina, but they're definitely, a lot of people are very capable.
Very, very capable. Yeah. So, and then you're basically, you're climbing up and down the pegboard 3 times, and then you're going into a heavy front squat for 6 reps?
I think it was
6 reps.
Yeah.
80 kilo and...
85 and 60.
Yeah. So that's kind of when, power is going to come into play really well there. But, you've just come off something that is...
Then there's also no rack as well.
And there's
So you
also
have to
no
be able
rack.
to clean
So then there's a
clean.
lot of skill. So that's kind of what I mean by this workout covering...
It's a high skill, high power workout.
Yeah, it is.
And that's... we tried to make it... I think only 3 people have RX'd it.
Yeah.
In both times that we've done it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I was trying to make a workout... In the perfect world, only one person would RX it.
Yeah.
And because that workout sort of epitomizes the program for the best, scale for the rest type of thing. But we want to give people... Because eventually what will happen is that you'll have 4, 5, 6... You know, we'll have 10 people RXing this workout. And then all of a sudden the entire gym has been raised with skill.
Yeah.
And so I think having something like that where it was good that a couple people can... that we can see that it can be done.
Yeah.
And it's not too far in the future, you know. Tommy, for example, could probably get through that one.
Yeah.
Given enough time. We time cap it, though, because we want it relatively intense. Like, we could do it in 2 weeks if we really wanted to. But we time cap it to sort of guide the intensity a little bit. But I think with the exposure to that high skill, high strength stuff...
Yeah.
It'll do 2 things for us. It'll show people that it's possible.
Yeah.
They might look at that work and think that's impossible, and we can show you literally someone who can do it. And 2 is it clarifies our vision of where we want to get to at the end. Like if you've got a person who can do 3 pegboards, 6 front squats at 85/60 in under 7 rounds, under 20 minutes, you know. That's a great benchmark, and that's the perfect thing to aim towards. We can dial it back from there, but I think it's a great aim for that top end type power and speed.
Yeah, and then that's probably when, you know, stamina, like what you have, comes into play as well. Because
in stamina, I think when we program the Sigma workout, which is the snatch ski, wall ball one, with that max set wall ball in there.
Yep.
And that's kind of where the stamina comes in a little bit, is that high rep endurance type stuff. So we're kind of blending. That one's low skill, you know, relatively. And then we move into, so low skill, still high power output. So we got high skill, high power, low skill in that one. So you can get a lot more reps, a lot quicker. It's a lot more faster turnover. And so that one's fantastic for people that are, you know, want to try and get reps, and want to move fast. They like to move really quick. Because some people don't really like that really slow, heavy type workout. Yeah. You know, and that's fine. That's probably because they're not that great at it. You know, myself included. I don't like the stamina workouts. I like the long, slow, and heavy. But, you know, we throw that low skill, high power output workout in, and then we round out our sort of CrossFit conditioning with the Delta workout that's low power, high skill. So we get that we get the deadlift, the double under, and then the toaster bar, but it's on the minute type stuff. And you can sort of, this one's a lot shorter. You get the 5 RM dead, straight into the double under and toaster bar, but you pick your toaster bar number. Yeah. So you pick, so maybe you do 5 every minute, 30 double unders, 5 toaster bar, and then next time you come back, you're like, all right, I'm going to give that a burl of 6. You know, you got that number in the bank, you can try and get that next one, and having that target in the thing gives you the thing. So I think it's a really nice rounded CrossFit section in that regard. And
I think, like, this is going to break down what you want versus what you need. So, like, if you looked at the test week and you've already looked at the 5-6 days ahead and go, oh, like, there's things that I want in here. Like, you know, I want to get better at front squats and I want to get better at toaster bar. But there are also things that you need in that program, but you might not want, and that's what we're trying to.
Let's have a look at those needs. That was the other days.
Yeah. So
the Tuesday, what do we have? We had max dead hang. Everyone in the gym destroyed that.
Yep.
Destroyed that. It was absolutely a non-issue. We had the 1 RM back.
Yep.
It's combined with the 75% max.
We had a high jump. And
the vertical jump. The horizontal, and then the broad jump.
Yep.
The max push-up.
Yep.
The 2K row.
Yep.
And was there another one?
And then...
I think that was it.
Yeah.
Oh, bench press.
Bench press, that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
And so I think just reflecting on all those things, you know, we're going to get kind of deep in. If you're starting to glaze over, please just skip forward 2 minutes. We have fantastic leg endurance. Our upper bodies are very balanced in terms of strength. We need more lower body limit strength, so bigger 1 RMs but less reps at higher weights.
Yep.
But that makes sense because of our programming is coming into the open anyway, so we should be good at moderate weights for high reps. Our vertical jump and our horizontal jumps aren't the same.
Yep.
Aren't the same ratio, and I've been trying to ponder what that is. I think it might be glute strength because a horizontal jump would be forward leaning and lose more quads, but then also a sled push uses glutes, so I'll have to think more on that one, but feel free to interject at any time. Max push-up was, I think it was a combination of either you could do lots or none at all.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't there on that day, but I did look at the numbers, and that seemed to be the case. Like, if you could do push-ups, if people that could do push-ups could do lots of push-ups.
Yeah, and every single person that came in that day was able to do one full push-up. But the way that I coached it that day was like, if you can do one push-up, the way that I'm about to coach you through it, you are so far in front of where you think you need to be, because doing a push-up correctly is
that's gold.
is
Yeah.
gold.
One means we can do 10 in a day.
100%.
Then we can do 20 in a day. Yeah.
So the way that I coached that was like, all right, let's actually go through these positions correctly, and let's go through how to do a push-up. This is not just some random test of like, hey, you're drunk with your friends and you can see how many push-ups can you do. Yeah. This is like, no, let's see how you
I'm glad Glenn didn't train that. Otherwise the leaderboard's going to be like, have a giant number up the top and everyone else is going to be a little thing down the bottom.
And it was good to see everyone moving well, and that's kind of the what you want versus what you need. Like, you want to be able to do more push-ups, but like, I know you could probably do more with shitty technique, but
how do you retest it?
How do you retest it? So today,
how do we know we're getting better?
So today, let's test it. Let's do 1. If you did it perfectly, the next time we test it, let's do 3.
Yeah.
Cool.
Love it.
You've absolutely smashed your goal. And that's kind of the principle and the intention behind why we're doing this, is because, it might at the time seem like, is that a pointless test? But really, we're just testing shapes.
Yeah, and we're giving you a line in the sand.
Yeah.
We're giving you a line, maybe even a little bit of accountability, dare I say.
Like, a dead hang for me is...
Oh, you put a time on a dead hang, and all of a sudden you'll know exactly what...
Exactly.
You'll get 15 seconds more every time.
It's a good way to program in 90 seconds or minute to 90 seconds worth of overhead mobility. Yeah. That's number 1. Number 2, it's just testing mental strength as well, which is kind of what you need, in my opinion. And especially, the world we live in right now, like, we need mental strength. There are constantly challenges at life that are thrown at you where it's like, I need mental strength, I need resilience.
You almost say you need to hang in there.
Almost. Dad jokes. Yeah, so...
But overall, I think it was great testing.
Yeah.
If I were to pick on anything, having the back squat and the deadlift within the same 5-day period was the only downside, I thought.
Yeah.
And the way I thought to get around this would be to actually have the test week on a Thursday, Friday, rest, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yep, I like it.
And then you could have basically a taper at the last, so let's say the Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday could be a taper, and then the following Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday could be a deload, essentially.
Yep.
And so I think next time that's what we'll do. We'll have the test week at the end of one and the beginning of another week. That way we can separate that back squat and deadlift. Because that was the only complaint, because the only difficulty I saw, and tell me, please contact us if you saw this, it was the going from back squat to max back squat to deadlift to the dumbbell snatch.
Yep.
That four combination was interfering with the testing, basically.
Yep.
But everything else I thought was on the money.
Yep.
To be honest. So we just move that around a tiny bit and it should be good.
And that's the beauty about constantly looking at our programming.
I look at my previous programming more than I look at the future programming.
Yeah. Because, I
get obsessed with them and, that wasn't good. My notes are all over the place. Get out the red pen.
And asking member feedback as well. Like, the reason we're programming is for the community. So we want to hear from the community to see, how that sat that week, how it sat that month. Do our intentions line up with our goals? And if so, and we continue to hit the nail on the head, like, we're only all going to get better as a collective. Like, as coaches, we've still got areas. I know I've still got thousands of areas that I want to improve on. If we can keep nailing that, and we can keep, I guess, having this like nice synergistic, if that's a correct word,
a positive feedback
loop, then we can continue to, I guess, make the outcome line up with the goal really well.
Yeah, I agree. Cool. All right, let's talk about the future.
The future is
interesting. What you said. The future is ChatGPT. ChatGPT is really bad at programming CrossFit.
Oh yeah.
You said though that feedback loop with the population. Another thing that from people that are from other gyms would know this. Any new person can just ignore what I'm about to say. Is that I'm very much a fan of programming, doing our in-house programming for our members with our equipment, with our, all our bits and pieces. We even take in the weather into consideration.
Yep.
And that type of thing. And I think that has a big positive impact. We get more buy-in from us. We understand what the program intent is more.
Yep.
All that kind of stuff. So doing that work of programming, which for me that's just pure creative work.
Yep.
I love doing it. I get obsessed with it, and I'm just on the iPad with the pencil, just Emineming that shit, putting stuff all over the place, and then re-going over again. So, but I think that's positive, and I'm going to just shout myself on that.
Nice. Another thing that I've recently changed my mind on is the difference between longevity and durability. So, longevity is one thing, like being able to live for a long time. That is probably classed as longevity. Would you agree? Like being able to live for a long time.
Live well for a long time.
I think durability sums it up better. So being able to do the things that you want to do for a long time. So actually, shout out to Pete again. I'm going to keep shouting out this guy because he is 68 years old. I did get it right the first time. 68 years old.
Doesn't look a day over 60.
Doesn't look a day over 60, and is doing everything that everyone else is doing in here. So to me, it's like, although his longevity is going to be great, his durability is even better because he's able to do the things still at a high level at that age. So, although we might be focusing and using the word longevity, I think durability is an even better one. Like, can you keep doing the thing?
That's the reason why I started CrossFit.
Yeah.
Because I was playing gridiron, and I one season in, and you just get so hurt with full contact. But then, now that after a year or so, I could snatch 75 kilos, clean 100, and I'm like, wow, I can absorb 100 kilos landing on me. Therefore, when someone's trying to tackle me in a sport, makes life easier, and you can just extrapolate that out.
Translates.
I can absorb 130 kilos in a clean, but now if I have to jump off something or catch my kids or throw something up on the roof or whatever it is, I can generate or absorb that force without getting hurt. So
I can deadlift 100 kilos off the ground, so therefore
new PB.
I can therefore I can pick things up off the ground pretty safely, knowing that I'm not going to hurt myself, right? And that's again, like everything we're doing in here, and come back to last week a little bit, we want everything to translate to everything out there. Like, if CrossFit's not making you better at life, then there's no point trying to get better at CrossFit, because CrossFit's constantly changing. You're never going to master it.
Nah.
You just need to get better at life and focus on that durability. So with power, force, speed, durability.
Well, this is that. I mean, let's not just sidetrack. We got the thing, and we already sidetracked all of it.
Yeah,
it's never not going to happen.
That's right.
With our next program, coming back to Andy Galpin, he talked about a yearly programming macro cycle, where winter's where you bulk, basically, because you eat more, sleep more. Spring's where you shred because you got fat over winter. Summer's where you get conditioned because it leads into the open. And then autumn is kind of like the do what you want phase. Just to some extent. That's kind of how I understood it. And the way I wanted to make autumn, which is tomorrow, which is Wednesday, or today's Monday, the 27th. What I wanted to do was tidy up any imbalances in our program, which seemed to be speed and power, somewhat. And power is force distance over time, or force times speed, another way to think about it. So you've got to think of power like ollie lifts is the perfect example. Moving things like sled sprints, things like that. Stuff that's heavyweight but moving quickly. Move large lows, long distances quickly. Oh, who would have thought? But we can break that down into force, which is i.e. moving weight, so lifting heavy weights, and then speed, i.e. jumping. And then because speed and force, given the rep scheme low, we're going to go pretty deep on exercise phys here, but if we keep the rep schemes under like 5 reps at a time, basically, we can pretty much do them. You could do it every day if you wanted to, but we don't need to do that. We can do it a couple times a week. Maybe speed a couple times a week, throw in a bit of skill in the speed. And then our program for autumn for the next 12 weeks will look something to the effect of, in a 4-day block, you'll have power, which will most likely be some sort of weight ollie lift, or a combinative resistance power lift. So chains and bands, things like that.
Yep.
And it would just be small reps.
Yep.
You get out Prelipin's chart, 3 sets of 3, 2 sets of 4, 5 sets of 1, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Nice and simple. We'll do a warm up, hit it, and then you should feel pretty fresh. Hit a little Metcon, and then roll with it. In that same 4-day block, we'll also have a force day, most likely. And we have to, since the week is only a 6-day block, we have to chop one of these one a week, but that's okay, we'll keep it even. Force is a, heavy bench, heavy squat, heavy deadlift, but again, small reps.
Yep.
We don't need to be able to do more reps. We can do so many reps. The 75% for reps we destroyed it, every single person. And then the speed day, we do fun things like jumps. Jumps, throws, leg lift, high school gymnastics in there, do some little EMOMs. It's going to be really cool. I've set the template up, and it's basically limited by my imagination. So you have to see in the sauna, frying brain cells right now. It's hard
definitely
to imagine
feeling
things.
that.
But please tell me if you've got ideas of some fun gymnastic stuff. I love gymnastics. You've got strict ring muscle ups, legless rope climbs coming up this week, handstand walking, single arm handstand holds.
Yep.
What else?
Even going through all the core stuff.
Yeah,
like
strict
just
toaster bar,
Yep.
skin the cats.
Yep.
Yeah, like all those type of really cool things, and we can play with that. You do one skin the cat 1 minute, next minute you do a couple max vertical jumps, and that might feel like there's not a lot of training in that. But if you can't do a skin the cat, obviously we'll bring it down to your level and we'll train to those patterns so that when we get back to the pegboard later on, we've attacked this from so many different angles.
Yeah.
So we can hit that shape. And then once a week we'll do a long workout. Cool. And I say once a week, I put that in once in a 4-day block, so maybe it'll come around twice a week every now and then. But you'll still do workouts on the power, force and speed days, but they're going to be shorter. They're going to be like today, 12 minutes or less, most likely. So if I'm around that 9, I like that 7 to 9 minute range. If you've just done some strength work beforehand, gives enough time for us to coach.
Today was awesome.
Today was good.
Today was great.
Perfect. Yeah. So today was about as hard as you can get it. And the other thing too is if you train today, so today was 4 triples on the clean, I believe, and then 2-minute max row, 2-minute max wall ball for 3 rounds.
Yep.
So 12 minutes. But the thing what we do there is that we keep the pattern recognition low. So we keep, so the clean is the same pattern as a row and a wall ball, roughly.
Yep.
Okay, there's a little bit of difference, I know. I'm losing my microphone here, I'm too hot. There's a little bit of difference, I know. But the patterns are roughly the same. So the coaching load can stay high because we can keep the same pattern going. And we'll keep that theme. If we're doing muscle ups in a skill exercise, then maybe we do ring rows and pull ups in the workout, things like that. So I think it'll be really fun. And we'll do this for basically 12 weeks, a bit of undulating intensity, i.e. volume. Then we'll dial it back and then redo our test week just before winter. And then we get into bulking phase, in which case we'll do another podcast and tell you what we're doing.
More sleeping, more calories.
More to add?
No, I think that's it. So going back to what you want versus what you need, we're giving you the things that you're going to need to get better at life that you probably think at the time is not going to convert to anything.
Yeah.
But
I think the speed day is going to be the hardest sell, to be honest.
Yep.
But if you did the vertical jump and you struggled on the pegboards, that's kind of, and I know that's we're not working out to get better at 2 things, but
yeah,
the goal is that skill is such an easy game. It doesn't make you sore. It might make you frustrated. Frustration is the ultimate learning curve there. But you just got to stick with it. Do the best positions you can do in training.
Yep.
In training, we want to do, you make it the hardest you possibly can. And keep the reps nice and low, super high quality.
Yep.
And then you're going to get there in the end. But throw in some get in with the people in the gym too, like try and outdo each other. Make a bit of competition out of it in the jumping, throwing, see how far you can get. I think that stuff's all really fun.
Yeah, it is. Yep. Cool. All good?
What should we do next time? Next time, maybe say next week, not this week. Glenn, what should we do next week?
Well, here we go. Straight from the audience. Glenn had a really good idea.
I did. I had a good idea.
Yeah, had a great idea. Is almost do a recap of week 1, but with a member. So obviously Glenn's with us right now.
Nice.
We won't necessarily recap that right now, but next week we could get a Glenn, get a Pete, get an Addy, or just even
Get a 10-15er.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
And just come in here and just be like, what is your image of CrossFit versus what we do? And then have them break it down.
Because I got asked suddenly at work by one of my staff. and she said,
that's all right.
she said, "Oh, you do CrossFit?" And you're like, oh, she goes, oh, you do CrossFit. And I was like, oh, here we go.
Well, that's week 1 podcast. Just send it
And
to
it just happened. I know, and I think that your podcast was good. It was. Just needs to.
But we need
now-
social proof, basically.
That's exactly right. That's
Yep.
exactly right.
And that
Just
could,
with 3 or 4 different types of fitness.
I mean, imagine if we had a surround sound mic and just 5 people.
just introduce the warm up, but yet mic them all up and be like, "Hey, I've got a quick question for everyone. What do you think of CrossFit?" And everyone's like, yeah, I hate it. CrossFit sucks.
Roaming Zach.
Oh, you're roaming Zach. Yeah, just a quick 2-minute podcast, quick 2-minute interview of everyone. But no, we will do it seriously. We will get.
That sounds like fun, actually.
Yeah,
I mean, half of Joe Rogan's podcast are just shooting this shit. And,
Yeah.
and it's entertaining.
But we'll basically get like
We got a
would
Holly or
say,
someone.
yeah, like
I mean, we shouldn't really name names too much, but I'm
No.
sure she doesn't mind. She's popular.
someone that's like you would probably class it elite or athlete, high end.
They're all athletes.
I mean, they're all athletes, and then someone that's like, been doing it for a while.
Can
But,
IRX a bit?
yep,
Doesn't IRX at all? IRX is everything.
perfect. There you go. That's a
And
good way
then
to break it
probably
down.
the next, probably most important would be someone that's just joined that hasn't done CrossFit before.
Yeah,
because
after 4 weeks or something.
It's fresh in their mind.
Brendan.
Yep. Oh, he's killing it.
He's coming to community. All right.
Well, that's 26 minutes.
Yeah. I'm sure my memory card's probably full by now.
All right. Well,
You've got class.
that's a hot box.
I'm going to sit in the water.
See you next week.
Now the fun part. The awkward bit that I say I'll edit out, but I won't.
Oh man. Oh, nice work.
Glenn's falling over.
Glenn's done.
Maybe we could do a live one time, and then every time someone comments, we have to put a scoop on the...
Oh. What? Basically, the first person to die. Oh man.